Spreading the gospel. Let's do it. So I'll be in Matthew 18, verses 15 through 20. If your brother or sister sins, go and point out their fault just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over. But if they will not listen, take one of two others along, so that every matter may be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. If they still refuse to listen, tell it to the church. And if they refuse to listen, even the church, treat them as you would pagans or tax collectors. Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound on heaven, and whatever you lose on earth will be lost in heaven. Again, truly I tell you, that if 2 of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by the Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am with them. And this is Jesus talking when he was in the world. And we need to follow off of Jesus' examples in all the Gospels. And follow his example. Because he lived a perfect life and beat flesh and sin. And he thrived. So at verse 15, in all the verses, it's talking about, so we shouldn't let our brother or sister sin right in front of us. Because if we're doing that, we're just as bad as them. We need the God to help people, you know. As Christians, that's our duty, like spreading the gospel. That's one of our jobs. But it says Jesus gives us perfect instructions on how to do it. But first he says, point out their fault just between the 2 of you. Meaning, if they're sinning, you don't want to do it out loud to where they're uncomfortable or making it like known to the world. Just keep it in between both of you. What Jesus said is, if they don't listen, if they listen, you won them over. Meaning they're going to listen to you. You just have to tell them what to do. But if you don't, it's like those people who reject the word of God. If they don't still listen to you after you're telling them not to sin, just between the 2 of you, Jesus says, Jesus tells us to go into further instruction, which is 2 people or 3 people. And I think he means pray for the person with 2 or 3 people. Because at the end, he says, hold on, where is it at? At the end, he says, for 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am with them. That's like 2 or 3 people praying for you. Prayer is really strong. But it says, take 1 or 2 others along. Meaning you have to find those 2 or 3 people. Like, you have to surround yourself by good people, a good friend group, a gospel friend group, to where you can spread the word with them. Like, if you could spread the word with someone, it's amazing. Like, you could do so much stuff. But then it says, I'll say one more thing. It says, if they refuse to listen, what Jesus said in verse 17, if they refuse to listen, tell it to the church. And if they refuse to listen, even the church will treat them as would a pagan or tax collectors. But like in this time, really, no one will really know if you're sinning in the church unless you're sinning right by them, really. But like in this time, people could get away with walking in the church and sinning, or like they'll just walk in the church and don't sin, but then come back out sinning like they learned nothing. You can't do that. That's lukewarm. And I know this is important because it has a whole section, and Jesus gave us 3 instructions on what to do. So it's very important to not let your brother or sister sin.